everyone, and welcome back to your daily dose of the color yellow. Sorry if you can hear the trash truck. Why is it coming in the middle of the day? I don't know. You may be thinking, Emma, why are you participating in 3 readathons when you've only read like 3 books a month for the last couple months? I can't not. There are 3 readathons this month that just spoke to my soul, and I don't know how I'm supposed to not do them. The first one is the Stranger Things Readathon, which I did not participate in last year and I really wanted to, so I got to do that this year. Then came the Mammamiathon, and if you have watched any of my vlogs or anything or follow me on Twitter, you know that I am obsessed with that movie. It is the best feel-good movie ever, the most watched movie of mine. I've seen it probably 25, 30 times. And it's perfection. And then the Bratz Readathon showed up, and Bratz was a huge part of my childhood. So here we are. I've tried my best to combine a lot of these together, so I'm only reading a handful of books, which is good. But I'm hoping that these readathons will, get me more in the reading mood, encourage me to read more than I otherwise will this month. So let's just get started. There's a lot to go through. Sorry for my fan blades taking forever to stop moving, but let us start with the Mammamiathon. So the Mammamiathon is 2 weeks long, the first 2 weeks of September, but we can go the full month if we need to or want to. I'm gonna try and do it in the first 2 weeks, but who knows? So I am Team Donna for this because she's the best. And the first prompt is Money, 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 a book you did not pay full price for. So for this, I'm going with Clockwork Princess. When I was originally reading this series, I had the first 2 and not this one for some reason. And one of my friends bought this like the day it came out and read it and then loaned it to me. And I read it and then I forgot to give it back. And I thought that it was mine. And then I realized it wasn't about a year ago and was like, hey, do you want your book back? And she was like, no. So I got this for free. There's a couple Cassandra Clare books in this TBR. And the reason for that is my friend who was doing a master's program in Alaska finished it, and she spent 3 years over there reading books she didn't want to read. So when she came back, she went a little book crazy and bought and read within the span of 2 weeks every Cassandra Clare book. So now technically I have access to all Cassandra Clare's books. I have read this trilogy before, and I have read, I think, 5 of the 6 Mortal Instrument books before. Didn't love them, but I didn't hate them, and I'm just in the mood for like an easy, fluffy, light fantasy series. I'm currently rereading this trilogy, and then I will be reading Mortal Instruments, and then moving on from there. The next prompt is Mamma Mia, give a book or author a second chance. For this, we're going with City of Bones. I like the Infernal Devices better. I found Jace, Clary, and Simon all very annoying, but like I said, I'm here for a good fun time. I'm not here to read this critically, so I think it's gonna be good giving this series a second chance, because I think my friend and I both, when we read these like 7 years ago, we were just a lot more critical back then, and now I'm like, reading's fun. Read whatever you want, it doesn't have to be amazing. So here we are. And she really, really enjoyed these the second time around, so I think I will too. I'm in a good mindset for it, So next is SOS, a book with 2 points of view. And here's where we run into an issue, because I thought that the Henna Wars had 2 points of view, or I figured that it might. But no one on book Twitter had read it yet, so no one could tell me. So I tentatively put that as this book. However, I started reading it, and it does not have 2 points of view. So I need help with this one. If any of you have contemporary dual perspective books to recommend me, please leave them down below. I say contemporary because whatever it is, I will be trying to get the audiobook through Libby, and I have realized that I just have a better time with contemporary audiobooks. I feel like I miss too many little bits of info from fantasy series when I listen to them. So, contemporary 2 POV books, let me know. Next is Slipping Through My Fingers, a book you have been neglecting. The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. I started buddy reading this with Hannah from Snow White Reader in June.
Wow.
And it is currently September 2nd. She finished this at a normal time. I think she finished the second half of this in one sitting. So she said it got so good, like she couldn't put it down. And what's funny is that I've read In a Dark, Dark Wood and The Woman in Cabin 10, and I enjoyed them, but from the half of this that I read back in June, this was gonna be my favorite book of hers. I was living for it. Why did I just randomly stop read it and not pick it back up again? You tell me. I don't know. So we're gonna finish it this time around. It is about this girl who gets sent this piece of mail that suggests that she is an heir to this really, really big estate. And it kind of goes on from there. Kind of has a Knives Out vibe if you've seen that movie, but it's very dark and spooky. So I do think it has really good September vibes, and I'm just honestly really excited to finish it. I don't know if I'm just gonna restart it or try and pick it back up from where I left off. Who knows, but I'm really excited. And then I can finally talk to Hannah about it, because that was the whole point of a buddy read. The last book for the Mammamiathon is Winner Takes It All, a book that won an award or prize. And for that, I will be reading Ella Enchanted. I loved this book as a kid, and I loved the movie. And this won the Newbery Honor Book Award. I just wanted to read it again. I want that nostalgia, you know? Moving on, let's move to the Bratz Readathon. So I decided to be Team Jade because, well, actually I liked all of the Bratz, but Jade, I remember I specifically had this camping one, and she came with a flannel jacket and a backpack and a lantern and this hat with the fuzzy ear coverings. And it was perfect. So I went with Jade. So the first prompt for her is cool cat, read a book featuring a cat. Now, I asked Book Twitter about this, and someone told me that there is a cat in the Mortal Instruments. And I know that this cat is not relevant, but rumor has it there is a cat. I'm really hoping that this cat shows up in the first book and not later in the series. I feel like it does show up in this, but fingers crossed that it works for this prompt. Next is East Asian, read an own voices East Asian book. And for this, I will be listening to The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. The only thing I know about this is that the main character's mother passes away and turns into a bird who follows her around. Maybe. I'm hoping that's kind of the plot. I just know it obviously deals about grief, and I'm really excited to read it. I've heard nothing but good things, and it's been on my Libby list for so long. Next is favorite color, read a book with green on the cover, and for this, Ella Enchanted, baby! She's got a green dress that I always wanted as a kid. Next is passion for fashion, read a trendy book, and Clockwork Princess? I'm hoping this counts. I would argue Cassandra Clare is always trendy in the book community, so this is what we're going with. And last but not least, Nevra and Roxy read the group book. And for that, the group book is The Henna Wars, which I started last night. I'm already 25% of the way through with it, and I am loving it. It is about this girl named Nishat, and she is in this business class where they have to kind of design their own business, and they have a set group of time to, run this business, and it's kind of like a competition of who's the most successful, and if you win, you get 1,000 euros, and she ends up starting this henna business, but then this other girl starts kind of a rival henna business as well, and it is a female-female romance, and I love it. I really love it so far, so it definitely has the potential to be one of my favorite YA contemporaries. Okay, last but certainly not least, the Stranger Things Readathon. And for this, I decided to be Team Eagle's Nest. So the first one is Murray, read a book featuring a hate-to-love romance. The Henna Wars. Next is Joyce, why are all these magnets losing their magnetism? Read a book you've always felt drawn to. For this, I have two options, and I don't want to pick yet, just so I have a little bit of leeway here. But my two options are The Picture of Dorian Gray and Lord of the Flies. I've been wanting to read these two classics for such a long time, and I really do think that I'll like both of them. So yeah, one of these two. If you have a preference of which one you think I should read first, let me know. Also, can I just say, Joyce is like one of my favorite characters ever. I love her. 3 is Hopper. I want you to feel like this can still be your home. Reread a book that feels like home. And for me, I am using Elle Enchanted for this just because it's gonna have so many nostalgic childhood vibes, and I'm so excited. Next is Alexi's Cherry Slushy, a book with red on the cover. And these two editions, which I believe are the editions I physically own, I was just too lazy to get them. Picture of Dorian Gray and Lord of the Flies both have red on the cover, so one of those will count. Next is Summer Carnival. Read a fun fantasy book. So for that, we're going with Clockwork Prince, because I'm currently reading Clockwork Angel, and I obviously am reading the trilogy in order. So I think this counts as I mean, it is fantasy. I'm hoping it's fun. The first one I'm finding fun, so yes. And last is The Upside Down. Read a book that's outside of your comfort zone. And for this, I don't know if this is necessarily out of my comfort zone, but I don't read a lot of manga, so we're going with it, and that is Uzumaki by Junji Ito. I previously read Gyo like 2 or 3 months ago, and I really, really liked it, so hoping I like this too. I borrowed this from my friend who also had loaned me Gyo, and I'm very, very excited to get to it. And I'm excited to have a little bit of a shorter, quicker read amongst all of these other novels. So that's it. That is my September TBR. Can I do it? Who knows? We will see. But thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you are participating in any of these readathons. And if so, what team are you? And I will see you guys next time. Bye!